Jiggers?
Yeah, I've just been handed a note, and I don't know whether to pass this along. Let's carry the play here for a while and see what happens. Hellenic is into the Islanders zone, dropping the puck. Krieger rubbed out by Molotov. Vladimir Molotov over to Tom Fitzgerald, onto the stick of Benoit Hogue, and the Islanders come up 2-on-2. Hogue and Ferraro crisscross. Hogue chased his pass to the right wing boards. It's picked up there by Cavallini. And away from him, back to the net is Ferraro. Pulls it away from Hatcher. Ferraro centers, but couldn't get it to Fitzgerald cleanly. And Pat Hellenic, the 19 for the Caps to Hatcher. He's number 4. Hunter 32 is across the line. The play onside.
No. That was an offside play.
But no whistle. And veteran linesman Mark Perry. We watch the Islanders come to center ice, and Vaski will dump it in around Hunter. Abarachi out of the net. The Islanders go for a player change. Cavallini picks up the puck. Give it to Hatcher. Off the boards with that pass. It came outside the line, and Hunter moves it to the right side. This is Peter Bondra with Carpenter trailing. Bondra going back to the net. Tied up with Huey Krupp. Bondra goes to the net. Carpenter takes the puck. Next again by Delgarno. Krupp there as well, and the Islanders come out of the zone. Have a screen through center ice. Outside to Krupp. Back through Mullen and offside at the Washington blue line. 43 years ago tonight is the note. April 22nd, 1950. The Detroit Red Wings beat a New York Ranger team by the score of 5-4 to tie the best-of-7 Stanley Cup final at 3 games each. Next night, Detroit won the Stanley Cup. The balance of the note says the New York Rangers haven't played in a potential cup clinching game since. But I guess everybody was aware of that, weren't they?
Well, they probably weren't aware of the details leading up to it. Detroit coming from behind to win the last 2 games.
Cup clinching game. Okay, Cote is on 1 point. Iafrate on the other for the Caps. Each team has had 12 shots on goal. 1-1 is the score. Bondra's over the line and shot it wide. Bondra playing with Ridley and Carpenter. They're out against Delgarno with Green and Mullen. Here's a backhand attempt, and the shot turned aside. Carpenter with what he scores! Bobby Carpenter gets the rebound, and the Caps get the lead.
Again, it's a loose puck around the front of the net. The Islanders allow the Washington Capitals the freedom to come out from behind the net. That started the breakdown. The game a little scrapey, not good motion, but it's mistakes that make the difference, and the Islanders just made a big one. Bondra avoiding Pilon. Then he speared the puck away from him. Ridley. There's the pass, the shot by Carpenter. He goes for his own rebound. Jeff Norton didn't stay with him, and Bobby Carpenter finished it, making it 2-1 for the Washington Capitals.
Carpenter's first goal in this series is 17th Stanley Cup playoff goal ever, beating Glenn Healy at 6:18 of the second period. Now the Islanders in a position of having to come from behind on home ice. Iafrate gets knocked off the puck at the Islander line. Corner to Vaski, now to Molotov. Donka comes into forecheck, and Molotov fed Thomas on right wing. Turgeon moves up the right side. Poked it around the defenseman. King goes in after it, gets tangled up with Cote. Steve Thomas onto the puck now. It got away from him. He's still able to poke it. Gets it right back at the blue line and dumps it in behind the net. Abarachi turns it up the boards. Pavanka plays it off Thomas and down the ice. And this is going to be waved off as it took a little time. Ridley and Bondra getting the assist on that goal by Carpenter. Again, Terry Murray using a mixture of forwards on these lines. Steve Thomas with a pass to Turgeon. Oh, he couldn't pull it. Steve Thomas, Derek King, and Pierre Turgeon that close to tying up this hockey game. And now Pavanka's over the Islander line with Burridge. Pavanka held it, still has it. The pass didn't materialize in time for Miller, and back comes Turgeon. Pierre Turgeon works on Johansson. Nice little stutter step. And he shoots one that went wide and rebounds off the boards toward Todd Krieger. Krieger down the right side. That's Kasparaitis getting back to him. Krieger maintains control and then shot the puck off Krupp. Hatcher steps out of the corner, gave it to Krieger. Krieger shot right on. Healy the stop, and Hogue will go for the rebound. Benoit Hogue around to Huey Krupp. Krupp's pass goes to Thomas. He banks it off Hunter into the center ice zone, and the Caps immediately get it back to Hunter. And then to Hellenic with Krieger going to the front of the net. And Hellenic pulls up here on the boards, gets pushed at by Krupp. Down he goes, and Krupp comes away with the puck. Gave it away to Krieger. Out in front to Hellenic, and his shot went wide. This is Ray Ferraro clearing it up the boards. Hogue on to Thomas. Thomas with Hogue jumping up in the play as well. Thomas plays it around Cavallini. Hogue gets it away from Cote, then couldn't center it. Here's Ray Ferraro. Ferraro is taken to the boards, held there by Cote. Kristich digs it loose. Dmitri Kristich feeds Dale Hunter. Hunter got it outside the line. Fitzgerald had a swipe at it. Now Hogue knocks it down, and it's brought back by Norton, but a hand pass is being called against the Islanders. It's Caps 2, Islanders 1.
Steve Thomas with a beautiful pass. How many times will you see Pierre Turgeon in this position and not get a shot on goal? Just as he went to backhand it, it flipped over his stick. Tough break for Turgeon and the Islanders.
Still a Washington lead at 2-1. Vladimir Malakov brings the puck into the center ice zone and then fires one. Cavaracci made the stop, and Al Iafrate turns it up the boards, but right to Claude Loisel. Ivanka on him. Jones is there, and the Caps are able to clear it out. Malakov mishandled it, then went back. Jones moving in on him. Malakov in deeper than he wanted to be. Banks it off the boards, and Pavanka gave it away to Fitzgerald. Down the left side and across the line. Look at Cote. Cuts inside on him. Fitzgerald slams it to the corner for Loisel. Through him. Bakota goes back in the net. Laid it out in front, but there is nobody there. And the Caps get it to the line. Vasky dumps it back in, and offside is called against the Islanders. Again, Cavaracci out roaming around a little more. The confidence maybe building and building.
I was going to ask that question when we started the second period, with the fact that Thomas getting the goal the way he did, with Cavaracci roaming away out of his net. Keep him back in there, but my question is answered here midway, through the second period, and he's still out handling the puck and moving it.
I believe, my memory serves me correct, that the Capitals have never had a goaltender who roams around as much as Cavaracci.
Mike Liut did a little bit, but not nearly as much as Cavaracci.
Talking to some of the media people from Washington, they just can't understand a goaltender doing all of these things.
It can be very effective as a third defenseman, but you have to know when to go and when not to. Like Kenny Rogers song, like gambling.
Hatcher just put the puck over the glass up into the seats, and in the middle of your picture, well, on the right side of your picture, Glenn Adamo. And on the left-hand side, Steve Solomon. Stephen, the vice president of the National Hockey League. Glenn Adamo on the right, the same. They have a couple of the ABC people on hand tonight checking out the Nassau Coliseum for future games. Very animated. Glenn Adamo, big Islander fan, should point out. Glenn formerly with NBC, and Stephen Solomon formerly with ABC, now NHL exec.
Getting the word now about Pat Flatley that he has a slight abrasion of the cornea and will not be back in this hockey game, probable for Saturday's game.
Slight delay here as Rick Cavaracci has his gloves off and adjusting something on his catching glove hand. Now he tucks it away into the mitt. Blocking glove on and the goal stick, and we're set to go. Carpenter has given the Caps the lead. His goal at 6:18 of the second period. He's on left wing with Ridley in the middle, I should say. Now Travis Green waved out of the face-off. And Mullen took the draw, and promptly it goes off his stick into the Islander players' bench.
Gives you an idea how attentive the players have to be, even sitting on the bench. They'll talk to each other, but when the puck is in play, they'll never look at each other. Now they will, of course, with the play stop, but players learn that over the years. When the play is going, talk to each other, fine, communicate, but keep your eye on the puck. Much as we often say to fans watching hockey games, keep your eye on the puck.
Johansson feeds the puck to Carpenter. He gave it to Mullen for a shot that hit the stick of Ridley and ends up on the tape of Hatcher's stick. Jones, who dumps it into the near corner. Ridley in after it. Pilon came back to knock it away. It's Pilon, rounds the net. Fed Brian Mullen onto the stick of Green. He and Delgarno come to the Washington line. Travis Green centered one in front, off the side of the net. Boy, the Islanders thought that they had put it in. Mullen looks to the referee. The fans are screaming about something called a video replay. The face-off is going to be brought outside the Washington zone.
What excitement, what action. as Mullen charged for the net. You heard Rich Pilon talking to Stan Fischler. We've got to go to the net harder. We've got to do it more often. And here, Travis Green wheels it across. There's the play at the net. Good opportunity. Mullen, the puck going so hard, didn't get enough of it to tuck it into the corner. If he gets it into the net and then knocks the net off, it still counts. But you can see how close the puck was to making it, inches outside the corner.
Face off outside the Islanders' blue line with Turgeon, King, and Thomas together. The puck gets into the Washington zone, and Hunter gets it out. Kasparaitis feeds Uwe Krupp. Puts it down the boards. Thomas in after it. So is Turgeon. Turgeon got pushed to the glass by Hatcher. And Hunter runs into King back in the net. Krupp can't hold it at the blue line. This is Calle Johansson into the center ice area. Off Miller to Hunter. Hunter dumped it over the line, but it's offside against Washington.
See, excuse me, Jakes. Paul Stewart just a moment ago called one of those on the Islanders where it was kind of a iffer. If this, if that. Player played it with his hand, but he didn't deliberately play it to the player. That time, the linesman called it. Update, Quebec and Montreal now 1-1. Kirk Muller has tied the score for Montreal. It's in the second period.
The game back in Montreal as Quebec has a 2-0 lead in games. Here the Caps lead the Islanders by a score of 2-1. The play in the New York Islanders zone, and Todd Krieger has the puck. Centers one. Into the side of the net. Krupp trying to knock it away from Hunter as they go to the corner. Kasparaitis steps in. Kasparaitis got a chunk of Miller and then gave the puck to Derek King. Quickly through center ice. King with a bobbling puck. Nice play, and he just shot it wide. It comes off the boards to Turgeon. Into Thomas. He's bet on the end boards by Hunter, but now King gets to it. Derek King sets up Uwe Krupp. Krupp to the backhand. Puts it in front. Tabaracci steers that to the boards. Kelly Miller moves it up. Hansen gets it out, and here's Hunter down the left side. Molotov comes back. Hunter's shot just missed. They bounce all the way out into the center ice zone. Miller back for the Caps. They're in the middle of a change now. Kasparaitis plays the puck out of the zone. Thomas with it at center to Turgeon. Here Turgeon waits. Hogue goes to the front of the net. Turgeon, the pass to Hogue. Knocked it down. Centers. Thomas is bet solidly. Pavanka protected the puck long enough for Kristich to get to it, and the Caps come to center ice. Nice pass to Pavanka. And a stick on the ice to contend with. Here's Bondra. Checked by Molotov. Healy scoops it up and holds on, and he's got Bondra right there with him. At the Nassau Coliseum, the Caps lead the Islanders 2-1.
Close look at Peter Bondra. He had 7 game-winning goals during the regular season. He had 10 power play goals.
He's reunited now with Pavanka and Kristich. Bondra on the right, Pavanka in the middle, Kristich on the left side. The Islanders countering with Ray Ferraro, Benoit Hogue, and Tom Fitzgerald. Molotov on one side of the ice on defense. Vaski is on the other for the Caps. Iafrate and Cavallini together. Vaski from back of the net got checked. Recovers the puck, gave it to Molotov off the boards. Tried to knock it away from Cavallini. It goes to the corner. Centered out in front, and Bondra was covered by Vaski. Now Iafrate with a shot off the pads of Healy. Tom Fitzgerald battling for it, and that will go out of play.
Sometimes goaltenders can't help but leave rebounds in front of the net. It seems that Glenn Healy has been leaving an inordinate number of rebounds. That time the puck came into him using his stick as a lever, kind of drive it back toward the point. The puck popped up in the air, landed in front. That forces the Islander defenseman to do a little more. Iafrate, head up, wheeled it to the net. There, you see the stick action? The puck has to go straight out. Tom Fitzgerald again moves back from the point position where he's covering, trying to cover Iafrate to pick up the rebound.
Caps win the draw. Tight checking here as Bondra got turned around. The puck came off Healy to Molotov. Molotov ran into a teammate. Loose puck. Big shot just went wide of the net off Cavallini. Iafrate started in, thought better of it. Ferraro works it on to Molotov. With a Washington line, Molotov held it, sets up Hogue off his stick. He'll have to go to the corner for it. Got taken down by Cavallini. Now Kristich gets checked, but the Caps moving on, and Pavanka is able to clear it out. Bondra moving up as Vaski went back. Using the boards, he gave it to Molotov to Ferraro. Islanders having difficulty moving out of the zone cleanly. This is something that the Caps showed us in the 4 games here during the regular season, and there Cavallini reached over to knock the puck away from Mullen. Now the Caps unable to make the clean pass, and the Islanders dump it back in. 7 minutes remaining in the second period. Here's Iafrate. Up ahead into the skates of Carpenter. It went to Mullen, to Delgado with Iafrate on him. Pilon steps over center ice. The pass to Travis Green goes in on the right wing side. Chuck one high off Cabaracci. Stays in play, and we watch Norton hustle back. Norton will carry it back to the Islanders' net and set up there. Delgado turns, goes up the wing. The pass went to Mullen. Puts it out into the center ice zone. Anderson knocked it down. Green moved up but couldn't control it. On Anderson dumps it in for the Caps. Anderson and Cote, the defense combination right now for Washington. Pilon to Delgado. He tips it into the Washington end. Cabaracci will play it. Cote sets up behind the Washington net. Turgeon, Mullen, and Delgado at the moment as Sean Anderson makes the pass at center ice. Ridley is over the line. Ridley looked at Carpenter, decided to hold on to it, now dumps it in front, and Troop knocks it out of the air. There Turgeon plays the left side. On comes Troop, looking at Johansson. Troop, cross-ice pass, held by Kasparaitis, taken by Turgeon. Here Turgeon shoots Cabaracci the save, and the rebound hit the side of the net. Johansson moves it on to Ridley, and the Caps take a look. Ridley, cross ice, Johansson with it now. Backhands it deep into the Islanders' zone. We have less than 6 minutes to play in the second period.
Islanders are trying to pick the tempo up. They're trying to create some more scoring opportunities. They haven't had one for several shifts.
Islanders have had 5 shots on goal in this period. Caps with 7. Washington with the only goal of the period. 2-1 lead. Kasparaitis puts the puck in the Washington end. Cabaracci leaves it back to the net. Hanson to Hatcher. One touched it up the right side, but off the boards, and it's shot back in by Baskey. Cabaracci leaves it behind the net. Hanson to Hatcher, and again they go to the right side with a feed to Miller. Miller over the line with Hunter trailing. Hunter has the puck now. Pulls up, shoots. Healy got a chunk of that. It comes to the near wing. Krieger plays it in deeper. Hunter goes to the boards. Met there by Baskey. Molotov gets his man. Tying him up. Hunter takes the puck loose. Baskey's right on Hunter. Over goes Derek King. Miller meets him. Hunter kicks the puck onto the stick, and then off Molotov. Krieger gets rolled over. The puck is beneath the Washington forward, and play is called. It's the Caps 2, the Islanders 1. Bobby Holik with the goal, and the New Jersey Devils lead the Pittsburgh Penguins 2-1 in the second period. Home ice advantage. I remember reading in the playoffs in Pittsburgh last year, just before the newspapers went on strike, how a psychologist had statistically analyzed the home arena advantage both in the NBA and the NHL, and he found that it exists in the regular season but reverses itself in the playoffs. And he went on to say it's probably a result of a well-established linear relationship between motivation and performance. Up to a certain point, the harder you try, the better you do. After that, the more you press, the worse you do. And we've got a injured Islander down on the ice here. Rich Pilon. They're calling trainer Ed Tyberski out to attend to him.
What happened, Jakes? The puck deflected off his stick and went straight up into his face. He has the shield on, protecting his injured eye from before, but that one may have caught him around the lower jaw. Jones winding up. Rich Pilon with his stick out. It hit the stick and rode up into his face. It's a lot of pain. That's either in the throat or in the jaw, lip, mouth area. Here's Jones. There's the stick. There's the puck. Comes straight up. Bang. Get another look at it from another angle. Watch the puck as it rides directly up his stick, up the shaft. There it comes up. You see him leaning forward, and his head snaps back quickly as the puck hit him. That may have caught him in the throat. I don't see him bleeding. Generally, if it hits you anywhere around the face area, there's a lot of bone and thin skin, and you cut easily. That may have caught him in the throat.
Back to the Islander players bench with Ed Tyberski and Travis Green.
You learn in a hurry. I can tell you from a personal experience. Phil Goyette, playing with the New York Rangers, hit me with a shot. I did that as a rookie. I put my stick out. Goyette slapped the puck. It went up my stick and hit me in the face, in the eye. I spent 3 weeks in the eye ear infirmary and next to the Mass General Hospital, and I'll tell you, I never did that again.
Right now, we just watched as the linesman was standing ready as if to drop the puck in a would-be, could-be, wanna-be type draw. Mick Vukota was ready to face off with Alan May. Had the sticks down, ready like drop the puck. Can you imagine?
They're more apt to get together some other way than for a face-off.
May takes the draw for the Caps. It was Travis Green, of course, for the Islanders. I don't recall ever seeing Mick take a face-off. Green and Jones. Puck pushed up the boards, but there's Burridge. Kasparaitis on him. Randy Burridge, who has a goal in this game. Nice move on Kasparaitis. Comes from back of the net. Can't get it through to Alan May. And it's Huey Kruk to the line and no further. This is Cavallini centering one that went off Green. Burridge. Check back of the net. Now Jones plays it around the boards. May goes after it. In deeper to Burridge. Kasparaitis on him once more, and Kruk handles the puck. Hard up around the boards to Mick Vukota. Turns, plays it away from Cavallini's side to Green. Up to center to Loisel to Travis Green. Green backhands it in. The Islanders start to make a player change. Paparazzi way out of the net. Got belted. And out come the Washington Capitals. Burridge. 3-on-2 at the Islander line. Then Burridge gets checked, and back goes Ray Ferraro.
Mick Vukota trying to set up a situation similar to the one that Thomas scored on in the first period with Paparazzi well out of the net.
Now the Islanders have Loisel, Ferraro, and Fitzgerald together. Ferraro is across the line. Drops the puck back. Fitzgerald with a shot that deflected and just went wide. Ferraro comes out of the corner. Back to Vaski covering the left point. Copley puts it in deeper. Claude Loisel went to center one, went off the side of the net and chipped out of there. Cavallini got it to Pavanka, to Bondra, and he's checked at the Islander blue line. Malakoff for the pass, went off Fitzgerald, stayed in the Islander zone, and then right back to Fitzgerald, and he's dumped it out. Cote feeds Johansson on the left side. Dumps it in well high and wide of the net. That'll bounce around the glass, bounced away from Bondra as well. Tommy Fitzgerald gets it outside the line, but it's brought right back over the line by Bondra, and offside is called with 2.5 minutes to go in the second period. A look ahead to our upcoming intermission. Here's Dan.
Thanks, Jig. My guess is going to be Dale Hunter. I'm going to ask him straight out whether that was a cheap shot that he delivered to Patrick Flatley that put Flatley out of the game with a damaged cornea. Right now, the Islanders are pressing well, but Paparazzi is just playing his goal perfectly. Has the angles down pat. Jigs?
That's from a man who played goal in his hockey career, Mr. Fischler. What do you think the answer from Dale Hunter will be?
I would probably think from Dale Hunter would be that he was going for the puck. What I'd like to do is maybe get a look the next time he's taking a face-off, if we can get a look to see whether he shortens up on the stick as he did for that particular one. If he does that every time, then of course you can understand that maybe in the heat of trying to win the draw, turning around, maybe the puck behind him that he did accidentally catch Pat Flatley. If he doesn't have that much stick exposed on face-offs, then we can question it.
The Islanders had Green waved out of the face-off, so Mullen took the draw and they won it, and now a collision. Stick up. The stick out of the hands of Paparazzi, and referee Paul Stewart has made a call.
I believe it's on Paparazzi, Jigs. It's a high sticking penalty. He's got his arms out now pleading with the linesman, Mark Perry. The gestures by the goaltender, it's got to be a penalty to Paparazzi.
2 minutes for high sticking.
Paparazzi again. There, he missed that puck, bouncing it around. Will you see a stick up in the air as Travis Green went in quickly trying to get to Hatcher. Here's a better view of it. Here comes Green. There's the stick. Is it? Whoa, I guess so. Waved it right up into the face of Travis Green. So the Islanders, an opportunity here with 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the second period. Carpenter with the only goal has the slim 2-1 lead for the Washington Capitals.
Third power play of the game for the Islanders. And for handed cards, on which one side it says score, on the other it says save. I would like to see the Islanders score. 0 for 12, as you see, during the series with the Washington Caps from having the man advantage. Turgeon in the middle, Thomas on the right, King on the left. Malakoff and Norton on defense as Ridley leans in to take the draw. King at stepped in a little quick. Miller is the other forward for the Caps. And Johansson on one side of the defense, Hatcher on the other, and immediately the Caps are out of the zone.
It's the face-offs again, Jake. Some of the key face-offs. The Islanders are not doing well in that department.
Now they come up ice, led by Jeff Norton, who slams it in hard off the end boards. It ends up behind the net and cleared around the boards by Tabaracci. Molotov kicked it to Thomas. Trying to get it back to Molotov. It's knocked away by Ridley. After 2 minutes remaining in the second period, a minute and a half left in the Islanders' power play. Norton with a feed to Thomas at the Washington line. Steve Thomas trying to play it through Johansson. Bergeron waiting for it, but the Caps again get to it, and the Islanders have to chase. Vladimir Molotov in the exchange with Healy. Across to Norton. Up to Derek King across the Washington line, trying to go around Hatcher, who reached in, knocked it away, and Ridley finds an opening. And again, the Islanders chase the puck.
The best power play that the Islanders have had so far in 2+ games was the first one in Game 2 when they moved the puck. They skated. They moved the puck well. They passed it. They didn't wait till somebody got too close to them.
Now Molotov gave it to Thomas. He's dumped it in. Tabaracci got bumped by King. Steve Thomas to Turgeon, trying to slip it back toward Norton. Nudged it right to Hatcher on a weak pass, and Hatcher just drags it a little bit. Less than a minute to go in the second period. King to Turgeon at the Washington line. To Thomas on right wing, and Krieger took it away. Shoots it down the ice. 27 seconds left in the penalty. Serving the call against Tabaracci as we watch Norton. He fires it in off the end boards to Pivonka, as it turns out, and down the ice it goes.
The Islanders have got too much speed. When they were doing the things right on the power play in Game 2, they were forcing Washington back in with this kind of skating by Huey Krug.
Out of hole, but he can't get it to Thomas, and Krieger has cleared it. The Islanders do not get a shot on goal with the power play, and now less than 19 seconds to play, period 2. Vaski down the boards, chasing it is Delgarno with Cote tugging at him. There's Iafrate as well. Delgarno freed it from back of the net. Hogue shoots. What a stop by Tabaracci, and that's going to do it for the second period.
Ellenott looking over his shoulder at Hogue, who was trying to chop him down as if he had an axe in his hand, but Tabaracci comes up with a big save at the end of the period off Benoit Hogue after taking a high-sticking penalty. The Islanders get nothing on the power play again. The Washington Capitals get the only goal of the second period.
Tabaracci appealing his case on that high-sticking penalty, no doubt. There you get a look at him. If you missed our pregame show tonight, very outgoing young man who has come into Washington and become a hero. The Capitals lead the Islanders after 2 periods in Game 3 of the Patrick Division semifinal. It's the Caps 2, the Islanders 1. Leading Washington in goal scoring in just about every other department is Dale Hunter, and he's with Stan Fischler.
Thanks very much, Jigs. Dale Hunter, not necessarily known for his scoring until you look and you see this guy's been scoring ever since he came into the NHL. 2 periods of hockey. Your feelings about the game?
It's really tight check-in, you know. Whoever gets a break is going to score. Both goalies are playing really well, and we happen to get an extra break, and we put it in.
Are you surprised that people don't appreciate the scoring aspect of Dale Hunter's game and always talking about your stick work?
Well, I don't know. It's not so much of appreciate it. My teammates, they know I score the odd goal here and there or set up one. So, you know, you're appreciated by your teammates or fellow colleagues through the league. You know, it's more than what maybe the press think or the fans.
Now, in the first period, there was a play right off the face-off. Dale Hunter, here it is. Patrick Flatley. Was this a cheap shot or what?
It's a winger taking the draw.
Uh-huh.
And you know, he's not used to taking draws. He came right into the circle. I didn't even realize. I thought maybe I cut him with my toe of my stick. Sometimes when you take a draw, it slides up your toe of your stick. You know, slides up his stick. But I was turning for the puck, and he came forward with it. So it's
now look me in the eye. You're not kidding me now, are you?
No, that one was an accident.
Okay. Now Richie Pilon confirmed that. I had Richie on at the end of the first period. I asked him. He said he thought it was accidental, but I had to give you the third degree. That's part of the game. Now, Washington playing a very tough game here, but the guy who has amazed me is Tabaracci. Did you think this kid was as good a goaltender when you got him from Winnipeg?
Well, you know, not really. You know, we only seen him maybe one time a year or something like that, so we didn't realize that he plays the puck well. He makes the big save for us. He's been playing really well, so we can't ask any more for a goaltender than what he's been doing.
Dale Hunter playing his best hockey since he cleared the age of 30. One reason, he has been dieting. No more ice cream. When did that happen and why?
About 3 years ago, I had a bad season, so-called bad season, and the management, and I started the next year on the 4th line, and I just said, well, that time I'm going to lose some weight. I played at 205 the year before, but now I play at about 195. I lost 10 pounds, so I seem to be working, so I'm keeping the diet up.
There are 23 teams in the league who would wish you would eat lots more ice cream, but he doesn't. Jigs?
And we'd even buy it for him if he'd just get into it again. Ice cream, what an awful thing to have to give up. Caps lead the Islanders 2-1 after 2 periods.
There's Bobby Carpenter. Boy, what a transition from a regular season to a playoff. In the regular season, they were ready to trade him in for a case of used pucks and a broken hockey stick. Since the playoffs began, a new player, a valuable player, the value that they hoped they were getting when they signed him as a free agent. Guess who's back? The captain with a face shield on, Pat Flatley, has returned. Having him on the bench means a lot to his teammates.
Around. Now we're set to go for the 3rd period. The Clappers go to work. We'll see if the Islanders can pick up the tempo here, get themselves even with Washington. Pavanka and Turgeon on the draw. Won by Michael Pavanka. Hatcher brings it back into his own zone, and the Caps make an immediate change. The Islanders are going to do that as well as they get Turgeon back on the bench, and Ferraro centers for Flatley and King. And a quick shot blocked by Healy as Kristich got it underway in a hurry.
That's one of the problems with changing on the fly. You saw the Washington Capitals. The puck was on its way into the Islanders' end. That's a safe change for the Washington Capitals, but not for the Islanders. Derek King was trying to get off the ice. He wasn't sure. 17, Ridley feeds it out in front. Kristich gets a good shot away, forcing Glenn Healy to make a stop. The Islanders on the change come up shorthanded just for a half a second, enough to get a shot by the Washington Capitals.
18 seconds into the 3rd period, it'll be Fitzgerald with Hogue and Flatley, Ridley, Kristich, and Bondra for Washington. Little delay, more debris being removed. To Patrick Flatley after an examination of what we were told was a left eye problem, the cornea. See the discoloration under that eye. He insisted on coming back. What a leader. Hatcher at the near point. Dumps the puck into the corner. Kasparaitis after it. Up off the boards with a feed to Benoit Hogue. Out of the zone. Flatley knocks it down, but it went to Hatcher. Hatcher into his own zone, turns in front of the net, looks for somebody to give it to. Johansson moves it to Ridley. Kasparaitis crashed into him, and the puck ends up deeper in the outer end of the ice, but Coop was there. To Vaski, then or to Hogue, I should say, then across to Flatley and off his stick. Johansson has given it to Kevin Hatcher. Once more to Calle Johansson. Johansson lost it to Uwe Krupp in the center ice area, up to Flatley. He gets checked. Here's Kristich moving the puck to Hatcher. And the Islanders have to chase it. Just a little more than a minute into this 3rd period. Caps lead 2-1. Hatcher with a shot that came through and off the pads of Healy.
Islanders have been having trouble all game long with that pass around the boards to the winger.
Now they get to the Washington line. Thomas taking the pass. Shoots. That just missed the net. Bounce up on the right wing boards, and out comes Dmitry Kristich. Off his stick. He got it right back, however. Lost it to Vaski inside the Islander blue line. Kelly Miller will dump it in for the Caps. Malakoff gets it out to Derek King. Out to Turgeon. Dumps it in. Thomas chasing it. So is Krieger. Krieger goes back in the net. Checked the puck, got away from Thomas. In comes Derek King. He's checked on the board. Krieger goes back in the net. Checked by Turgeon. Over goes Thomas, but Cote beat him to it. The Caps get it out of the zone. The pass to Hunter didn't materialize. Vaski to Thomas, and back come the New York Islanders. Steve Thomas over the Washington line to Turgeon. Missed the check from Hunter. Picks it up. Shoots through a screen and hit King. Thomas lets it go, and that went high and wide. It'll come back to the point for Vaski. And as Vaski plays it in off the boards and got taken off the puck, and Cote comes to center with a feed. Iafrate over the line to Krieger. To Iafrate. Can't pull the trigger. Hunter's backhander blocked by Healy, and the Islanders clear it out. Big stop by Healy, who was way out of position and just swung that stick back across the front of the net.
You called it right, Jigs. Healy put himself way out of position, but he bailed out with his stick.
Now Delgarno gets taken off the puck by Calle Johansson, and here's Pavanka. His pass hits Green. Delgarno over on the right wing boards. Missed on his effort to get it into the zone. Jamming up against the boards. And play is called. 17-12, the time remaining in this third period. 2-1, Caps leading the Islanders.
Islanders haven't been able to get the tempo of the game up where they like it. Mucking along the boards, and the Washington Capitals have been winning those little battles. Here's the save by Healy. Here he comes racing across, lost his balance, just as guess who? Hunter tried to shovel it into the net. He got his stick back and got it down just in time. Watch the right hand, the stick hand. There's the shot. Misplayed. There's the play by Hunter as he took it away from Iafrate and fired it to the net.
Now the Islanders are into the Washington zone, led by Jeff Norton. Delgarno got taken down. Washington player in the collision with Delgarno is down on the deck. I believe it's Carpenter. And Bobby Carpenter just now getting up on his knees and onto his skates. And Wong, the trainer of the Caps, out to attend to him.
Danger with him, you'll have to watch when he starts to move. Is it in his legs? That's the spot that's vulnerable for Bob Carpenter.
Caps 2, Islanders 1. We'll be right back.
Wong checking with Bob Carpenter as he sits on the bench. He seemed to indicate to Stan Wong. There he is as you see him walk in behind the players. Seemed to think that his indications were that he was all right.
Game's at full strength. Pavanka and Green squared for the face-off. Linesman Ron Finn wanted them to line up again. And says, forget it. Get out of there and let's get somebody else in to take the draw. Mullen will take the face-off for the Islanders against Kristich for the Caps. Mullen wins the face-off. Kruk knocks it out of the air. Fires one. Pad save. The rebound. And the Islanders, Brad Delgarno, couldn't get it through the Caps defense. Hatcher moves it to Kristich. Green takes him to the boards. Kristich knocked off the puck again by Delgarno. Green can't get to it. So Norton has to turn and go back deep into the Islanders zone. Jeff Norton to Uwe Kruk. Right side to Brad Delgarno. Shot it into the Washington end of the ice. Tabaracci out to play it. Green got spilled in his pursuit. Fans moaning and groaning about that. Meantime, Johansson accepting the pass from Hatcher plays it down the boards. Facing it is Jeff Norton. Kristich coming back in for the Capitals. Now around to Kruk. Up the middle, but out of the reach of Mullen. And here's Hatcher for Washington. He's gotten Pavanka open, and Norton squeezed in front of him. Uwe Kruk tries the right side. Out of the zone, but into the possession of the Washington Capitals. Johansson with Kristich. The Bondra flips it into the Islanders' end of the ice. Healy plays it around to the far side for Steve Thomas. Pavanka gets to him. It comes back. Iafrate with a shot in front. Kristich. Oh, his changeup just missed. Healy pokes it away from Pavanka. Thomas trying to get it out of the zone. Does on the second effort. Only to have the Caps promptly shoot it right back in.
That pass again, only this time over on the right wing side, that's been getting the Islanders in trouble.
Uwe Kruk goes off the end of the board. Tugged at by Miller, and here's Hunter. Hunter centers one off the stick of Miller. Gets it now and shoots. Healy has it, and there's no further play. Day in and day out, at home or on the road, you can always count on the great taste of Bud Light. It won't fill you up, never lets you down. So make it a Bud Light. A goal by Mario Lemieux. And then by Peter Taglianetti to take a 3-2 lead, and we're going to change that. It's 4-2. The Penguins have just scored. As we were updating you, it is now Pittsburgh 4, the Devils 2, and they are in the third period at New Jersey. That's been Larry Murphy scoring after Lemieux and Taglianetti. Here the Caps with a 2-1 lead and protecting it well. They win the face-off in the Islander zone. Iafrate centered one that was tipped, and out comes Derek King. King chased back by Krieger. There's the puck to Kasparaitis. Up the right side, too far for Turgeon. It comes right back to Kasparaitis. Now to King. Wheels it cross ice off the boards, however. Hatcher lost it. Turgeon can't get to it in time. Miller leaves it on the boards. He and Kasparaitis in a battle for it. The puck ends up a little deeper in the Washington zone, and Hatcher gave it away to King. King over the line, trying to go around Hatcher, couldn't do it. Back comes Kelly Miller. Miller into the Islander end with a feed to Hunter. Hunter off the left wing boards, and his shot was blocked. Picked up by Derek King. King pulls up, slips it across to Vasky. Miller on him, forcing Vasky to go back.
Islander forwards are getting too far ahead of the defenseman, and the defenseman can't get the puck up to them.
Exactly. Now they had dumped it into the Washington zone. The Caps played around the boards. Hogue went to center one. Hatcher got a stick on it, and he's cleared it out.
Islanders are not skating well, Jigs. They haven't got their feet moving. They're trying to do it all with the puck, and it's not coming about.
Caught here on a two-line pass. Well, the Devils get themselves right back into the game. An update again, 4-3 as Alexander Seaback has scored for New Jersey.
Thing here that Al Arbour has to make sure that his team maintains patience. Still 14 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the hockey game, although the Islanders are not generating anything offensively. Terry Murray and his Washington Capitals, who are a very strong defensive club anyway, having an easy time of it here in the third period.
Face off just inside the Islander blue line. Ridley, Carpenter, and Ellenuk for Washington. Flatley with Hogue and Ferraro for the Islanders. Cross ice feed. Hogue reaches in to knock it away from Hatcher. And while Hogue and Hatcher, the sticks come up a little. This is Patrick Flatley battling along the boards. Ellenuk reaches in. Hogue gets to him. Ferraro takes his man, and the puck comes loose. Carpenter around to the opposite side of the ice. Ridley and Molotov there together. Molotov to Ferraro to Hogue. Slipped away from him. Molotov reaches in, and the Caps jab it by. Up comes Carpenter. Ellenuk with him 2-on-1. Carpenter to Ellenuk. He scores!
The patience of the Washington Capitals pays off again as Bobby Carpenter grabbed the puck in the Islanders' end of the ice. Molotov moved up, tried to keep the puck alive in the offensive zone. Carpenter fed it to Ellenuk. Beautiful move, looking like Benoit Hogue. Hogue tried this move at the other end of the ice and lost it. And there's the puck jabbed ahead. Bob Carpenter, who went off shaking up his last shift, watch him pull it in. Avoids the stick of Jeff Norton to Ellenuk, who feeds it underneath the outstretched left leg of Glenn Healy. Carpenter again as he pulls the puck back, passes it to Ellenuk, and he finishes the play. 3-1 now, the Washington Capitals lead the Islanders. Ellenuk gets his first goal of this playoff series.
There's the time, 6:15 of period number 3. Ridley will get the other assist. The Islanders get caught and pay the price. 3-1 Washington. Still plenty of time remaining in this third period, but the Islanders need to step up the level of play. The tempo has gotten away from them. That may do it. Big hit by Delgarno on Pivonka, and Pivonka heads directly to the Washington bench. Mullen dumps the puck in. Iafrate chases it. Plays it around the boards. In comes Kasparaitis. Left the puck, and it'll slide harmlessly outside the blue line. Huey Krupp on to Mullen. Mullen on the left wing into the middle. It goes off Hunter. Is knocked down by Iafrate, and a hand pass called against the Washington Caps. 13 minutes, 7 seconds left in this third period, but Al Arbour's team is down by 2 goals on home ice to a very strong defensive team.
Dig back into the second period and try and figure out where the Islanders' scoring opportunities came. They had a couple. We showed one on the highlight film when Pierre Turgeon had the puck jump over his stick, missed on the backhand. King had a chance, and Travis Green, but that was about all of the opportunities in the second period for the Islanders. Their skating game has left them, and when they don't skate, they don't win.
Now the Caps, after winning the draw, clear it out. Cote up ahead. Here's Carpenter across the line. Vasky stepped in front of him. Nick Lakota there as well on the play, and it's Vasky moving it around to Molotov. Up off the boards. Onto the stick of Fitzgerald to Claude Loisel, who dumps it into the Washington zone, only to have it cleared right back out by Cavallini. There is Kasparaitis for the feed to Loisel, and the Islanders once more put it in the Washington zone. Little dump and chase, but a penalty call on Carpenter. He got the stick up, and referee Stewart has him ticketed. We'll be back right after this.
Bob Carpenter gets the penalty. It's a high sticking penalty. There's a lot of stick work going on in this hockey game now. Some of it's not being called. Claude Loisel dumps the puck in. Mick Vukota got his stick up pretty good. Benoit Hogue was chopping away with cross checks at the sides and arms of Hatcher. He was getting away with that, but it's Carpenter to the penalty box. The Islanders 0 for 13 in this series so far.
But they get the draw here, setting up Norton at the right point. Now to Turgeon. In deeper to Thomas, but through him, he goes back to the net. Taken to the boards, and in comes King. Beats the blue line. This is Norton. Fires one, but off the stick of Ridley, and down the ice it goes.
Same old story. The Islanders on the power play. They're waiting till players get too close. They're winding up, taking too much time, trying to shoot it.
Now Norton carries it through center. Rolls on him, but he does get it into the Washington zone. Back on it is Kelly Johansson up off the boards. Norton knocked it down. Miller gets it out of there. Back goes Huey Krug. Crowd becoming very restless. Islanders trail by 2. Only a minute and 16 seconds of the power play now as Krug feeds Thomas on the left side. Hard around the boards. Cabaracci slowed it up a little, but Norton is in. It's checked, and Ridley here's it again. Dump and chase just isn't working.
Not, Jays. You saw Norton that time. He went in. He went all the way in as a defenseman into the corner. Got the puck on his stick. Hesitated. Washington grabbed it and shot it down the ice. Washington are just playing a much sharper hockey game.
One more dump in. One more clear out.
Cabaracci, you talk about him roaming, taking chances as a goaltender. When you're short-handed, it's a pretty good job by a goaltender if he can get out that quickly and intercept that hard around as we see it here.
Into the zone, and what did he do here? Gives it to Pavanka. Shot it at Hatcher, and now he's able to find a teammate, and Todd Krieger forces it out of the zone. Not one shot on goal thus far with the man advantage for the Islanders. Dennis Vaske carries it out of the zone, up the middle, into the Washington zone. Held it this time, gave it to Flatley. Into the corner for Ferraro. Couldn't get it to Flatley as Cote stepped in sharply, and out he comes. Cote fires a hard one that just missed. Back on it is Molotov, and that's the end of the penalty against Carpenter. Did not test Cabaracci. Molotov shoots from outside the line. That did test him. He dropped it off and covers it. The fans cheers. The Islanders put up only their second shot on goal, and we're almost halfway through this third period. That is second in this period, folks. The Islander farm team, Capital District Islanders, lost last night. Defeated 3-1 by Adirondack and are out in 4 games in the American Hockey League playoffs. David Chazowski did have a couple of goals. Brent Grieve had a goal and an assist. And I believe 4 or 5 of those players will join the Islanders to practice with this team, or at least be here in case of any injury problems, but just to get the playoff experience as well. They'll probably arrive tomorrow.
Terry Murray knows that this game is far from over. 10.5 minutes remaining. But he also knows and has confidence in his hockey team to be able to finish well. Some of the best games that the Washington Capitals have played this season have been in this building, where they won 4 times during the regular season. The hole in the ice being patched up by the linesman Ron Finn.
Chance to remind you that Islanders hockey is being brought to you by Mobil. Mobil One synthetic motor oil. Isn't your car worth the extra protection? Green, Delgarno, and Mullen with Kasparaitis and Norton. Travis Green lost the draw to Carpenter. Cote moves it up the boards. Norton covering the left point. Trying to keep it in. Bondra forces it outside the line. And Delgarno gets it right back into the Washington zone. Goes in after it. Delgarno dumps one off in front. Cavallini chases it to the corner. Off the boards, held by Kasparaitis. Handed it into the near corner. Cote plays that off the boards. And off Mullen and out towards center ice. Up comes Bobby Carpenter. Carpenter to Christie. Bondra drives to the net. Couldn't make contact with the pass from Christie. And here's Brian Mullen leading the Islander rush. Mullen into center ice. Backhands it. Well wide of the net. The Islanders changing up here. Paul Cavallini with an opportunity to move it out did, but it was off the boards behind Bondra, and the Caps are going to be called for icing.
Capitals are doing a wonderful job. When the Islanders shoot it in at even strength, the Islander players are being held up at the blue line before they can get in and get to the puck in the corner. That gives the defenseman an extra half a second to a second to win, grab the puck as Kevin Hatcher can do, turn around, and then he's facing up the ice. if a defenseman, Hatcher being one of them, any of the defensemen, have to go in and pick the puck up, with Islanders coming down on them from behind, more apt to give it away.
See the note on the captain, Kevin Hatcher. Face off in the Washington end of the ice with Flatley, Ferraro, and Hogue out for the Islanders. Vasky and Molotov on defense.
Jigs, Kevin Hatcher, as you get another look at him, was the youngest player ever in the Washington Capitals history to play in a postseason hockey game. He was 18 years old and 7 months.
Wow. Here's big. There's Hunter moving the puck to the left side, and the Caps get it out. Molotov has it in center. The Hogue. Well, Hogue with Flatley, they're across the line and onside. Flatley off the left wing boards through a screen. He shot it right into the chest of the defenseman Johansson, and now Vasky lets one go that was just off the target. Molotov couldn't get to it in time, and the Caps have shot it down the ice. Again, we'll get an icing call. 9 minutes remaining in the third period. Play just underway. Kasparaitis with a shot. Loose puck in front. Thomas scores!
The Islanders win a face-off, an important one of the few that they've won all this hockey game in the series, if you will. They get possession of the puck to the point position. Kasparaitis, a good shot, deflected by King. The rebound to Thomas after Turgeon tried to jam it in. Thomas was successful, and the fans are back into the hockey game. There's the deflection by King, the attempt by Turgeon, and then Steve Thomas, who got the first goal for the Islanders back in the first period, has brought the Islanders within one.
Like a big thanks, I needed that for the Islanders and especially the fans. 14,180 here tonight. Those of you watching on Sports Channel, Islander fans had to get a lift from that goal.
Washington had taken the fans out of the game, even the North Star fans.
The goal at 11-11. Thomas from Turgeon and King. And it all started with Kasparaitis keeping it in, making that shot. It got through on the deflection, and the Islanders have pulled it within one. Miller tips the puck into the Islanders zone. Kasparaitis takes it from Healy. Round to Thomas. Sharp turn, but he gave it away to Hunter. He gets checked by Kasparaitis. Up comes Turgeon. Nice move, and Iafrate spins it in front. Abarachi gives it to Iafrate. Around the boards and out towards center. Dropping back to Huey Krupp. Krupp has a rolling puck to contend with. Now the pass up ahead goes to Thomas. On to Derek King, will drive it into the Washington zone. Turgeon goes back. There's the big defenseman. Iafrate, a long pass to Miller. Now to Hunter, and it's off the heel of his stick. Dale Hunter shoots it in off Thomas. Molotov gets through it over on the right wing boards with 8 minutes remaining in the third period. Here Molotov with Hogue moving out of the zone. Huntley up ahead. There's the pass. Tipped at the Washington line. Not in offside. They're going to roll. Now we get some scuffling after the whistle. Situation is this, just under 10 minutes to play in the third period. Let's get some observations from Stan.
Well, thank you, Jigs. One of the things the Islanders have to think about with the failed power play is whether or not Tommy Kervis comes back in the next game, because nothing has worked so far. Key right now is going to be face-offs and whether the Islanders can out-muscle Washington. Jigs?
An interesting scenario. If Tom Kervis does come back into the lineup, whose spot does he take? A lot of things that the coaching staff will have to address.
A lot of it will also depend on the outcome of this hockey game, Jigs. If the Islanders can salvage and get this game tied up, and if they were fortunate enough to go on and win it, then of course that may not be necessary. But Al Arbour will not hesitate to move people in and out of the lineup if things are not working the way he thinks they should be, or players aren't working the way they should be.
Of course, they've lost Rich Pilon in this game, so there's a spot open tonight. That may not be the case on Saturday night. Hatcher Moves the puck off Hoag's stick and on into the seats. So a face-off coming in the center ice area. Speaking of Benoit Hoag, he wanted me to remind fans that he'd like them to come join him on the Islander cruise to Bermuda. Hope you haven't made your vacation plans. Keep August 1st in mind for the trip to Bermuda. There's an update we mentioned earlier. 2.5 minutes now left. And Pittsburgh leads New Jersey 4-3.
I understand that the Devils have just gone on to a power play as well.
Only 2.5 minutes left in the game, yeah. Here the Islanders are trailing 3-2. Vaske had it poked away at center, and Carpenter dumps it into the zone. Back on it is Flatley with Hunter coming in on him. Double duck there as well. So is Vladimir Molotov. Big Islander defenseman played it off Hunter, who has it now, then lost it. It goes to Hoag and out of the zone. Hansen turns and goes back. Ferraro chasing him. Hatcher handles the puck here. They're set up by taking it behind the net. Checking his options. Hellenic peels off the boards. Comes to the front of the net where Ferraro is standing. Hatcher up the right side to Dale Hunter. Hunter will dump it in from center ice, and the Caps go for a player change. Healy with a pass off the skates of Hoag. Molotov appeared to go for the puck, and Healy decided to try and give it to somebody else.
That's the kind of things that have gone wrong for the Islanders in this game. Some of the communication, some of the intensity level.
And that long pass into the center ice area went off Brad Delgarno, and Krupp ends up putting it in the Washington zone. Cote to get it out of there. To Bondra promptly puts it inside the Islander zone, and Krupp comes back. Pivonka into forecheck. Louis Krupp up the boards, not out. Here's Cote, and his pass is blocked in front of the net. Louis Krupp gets to a loose puck. Turgeon up the right side, takes the pass. Mullen with him. Turgeon puts the move on Iafrate, cuts in, can't get it around Tabaracci, who went down quickly. The Caps pounce on a loose puck, and Pivonka comes out of there. Pivonka hard around in the Islander zone. Bondra lost the puck. Louis Krupp plays it high and out towards center ice with just under 6 minutes to go in the third period. Caps lead by a goal as they dump the puck in, and Norton goes back. Jeff Norton. Travis Green backhands it into the Washington zone away from Johansson. Fitzgerald after it. Back of the net to Green. Fitzgerald holds on to it. Turns, looks for somebody to the blue line, and it got away from Vaske. And as Vaske and Kasparaitis on defense up front, Loisel, Green, and Fitzgerald as the Islanders bounce it in front of Tabaracci, who covers it and gets a face-off.
What the Islanders are going to have to do, they're going to have to go hard to the net. They've got to pick up, and they have now, some of the hockey game. They're skating better. They're starting to push the Washington Capitals back into their end of the ice. Here's Turgeon with a beautiful move on Iafrate. Iafrate is very quick. He doesn't want to take a penalty, almost, but not enough. Just enough to steer Turgeon off his concentration. Wasn't able to get both hands on the stick soon enough. He got a one-handed shot away. Then when he went to backhand, the pocket was cleared away. 15th of the series.
Hunter turns away as Loisel came in. Fitzgerald goes back in the net. Taken off the play by Hatcher's check. Carpenter with a pass and went off some skates. Loisel with a shot through Hatcher, but cleared by the man behind him, Calle Johansson. Now offside is called. And again a scuffle. Wouldn't you know that Dale Hunter would be involved. And Dennis Vaske for the Islanders. Quick out of the zone and back in. Cost the Islanders there. Now they line up for a face-off outside the Washington zone. Carpenter will take the draw with Turgeon. Miller is on the right. Hellenic is on the left. Turgeon put the puck just inside the Caps blue line, and Johansson worked it over to Hatcher. Back to Johansson. Johansson playing the boards toward Ridley, who's come out on this line, and now Thomas fires it right back in.
Carpenter went off, Jakes, and that allowed Ridley out on the ice, so they've got the player they'd like to have out against Pierre Turgeon.
The Islanders don't make any effort to change up. It's late in the third period, and the Islanders are down by a goal. Norton from back of the net. King comes to the left wing boards as the pass went to Krupp over on the right side. His attempt to get it out of the zone didn't work. He'll try it again. Norton steps back in the net. Out he comes. Norton with a feed to Krupp. Down the right side as Miller had fallen. Krupp dumps it in, but Hatcher has it now. Evan Hatcher as Johansson ran a pick on King, and Hatcher comes to center ice and just lays it down into the Islander end.
That's all the Washington Capitals care about. That gives them a chance to change up and get fresh players out on the ice.
Norton brings Sends the puck over the line. Taken to the boards by Hatcher. Ristich handling the puck. Down to Iafrate, up off the boards. Vaca got it outside the line. Norton trying to get it back in. Gets the play on side and then dropped the puck to Molokov. Up ice he comes. Molokov to hold. Off him, and the Caps able to clear it right back out again. 3.5 minutes to play in the third period. Kasparaitis, a long cross-ice pass. The Caps in the middle of a change. Fans counted all those red shirts, but no whistle.
They didn't play the puck. Had somebody played the puck in a red jersey, they'd have had them.
Now Flatley trying to get it through Hatcher. Ristich is there as well. Into the corner is Flatley. Flatley freed it up, but Hatcher slaps it off the boards, off the net as well. And the Washington Caps end up icing the puck as it rolls on edge. Way wide of the net, a whistle for icing. 3-2 Washington.